Hey there, Eric here from Joyful People. And have we ever in history talked more about the concept of culture? I don't think so. And guess what? We're going to be talking about culture more and more and more and more and more in years to come. But a question I am constantly getting right now from growth-oriented leaders and companies is, hey, Eric, how do we maintain our culture while we're scaling our company? And it's a great question, something I experienced myself while scaling a company. First and foremost, rule number one, culture is a full-time job. I think one of the reasons we ask this question is because, well, in truth, we as leaders oftentimes just don't want to think about it. It seems like something we have to put a ton of energy into to maintain, and that's actually the truth. Sometimes it's more sexy to think about the fact that we're adding new locations or new revenue streams or driving more profitability. Culture is a measurement that sometimes can be difficult to equate to direct ROI or benefit, but we all want it too, right? So here's the deal. Culture, whether you can measure or not the outcomes, if you want one, it is a full-time job. And if you aren't committed to developing and maintaining your culture while you scale as a full-time job, well, you simply aren't going to get what you want. Now, a downfall to that is you will have a culture. It just isn't the culture that you wanted it to be. Culture, in my opinion, point number two, is truly and simply a measure of consistency. So that means consistency through and through our organization and consistency in our rhythms. What do I mean by through and through our organization? Well, it means that with culture, number one, you, dear leaders, must be living it yourselves. So oftentimes one of the failures we see in companies is that people establish in writing this culture that we want to put up on the wall or up on the ceiling and say, this is what we aspire to. It's just not what we experience every day. Have you ever been there? Have you heard that, felt that before? When I say that we are living our culture, it means that each and every one of us inside of the company is championing the vision and the values of the company. That means that we hire people, we reward people, we recognize people, and we let go of people based on the vision and values that we've set. So your culture lives in your vision and your values, then you have to live your vision and your values. A very simple thing. So the second point of question number two is about consistency in our rhythms. So again, this isn't just for the CEOs. This isn't just for founders. This is for everybody that has any responsibility for the leadership and development of other people. If you are a leader inside of your company, you must be a broken record. I don't know why, but for some reason, nobody, first of all, wants to be broken. And for another reason, we decided that the concept of a broken record is something that we don't all want to be. You're repeating yourself over and over and over again, like a broken record. Well, if you want a culture that works, you actually need to be a broken record. Here's the deal. People, and this is not Eric Roman making this up, this is human history and significant mountains of research. People don't learn things the first time you say it, or the second time, or the third time, or even the fourth. No, the preponderance of literature says that it takes at least 7 times of somebody hearing something for it to actually soak in. That means your vision, values, and culture. 7 times, at least. But here's the other thing. As humans, it turns out, and by the way, I think that 7 may still be short for most of the people in my life, including myself. As humans, we have short memories. And, the thing about culture is it has to be consistently reiterated over and over and over again, which means you will be repeating your vision and your values constantly. You will never miss an opportunity. That means your daily huddle. Now, I'm not saying necessarily go through the whole thing every day with every person, but you do have to repeat cornerstones and recognize people around specific values, right? So you're going to do it in your daily huddle. You're going to do it in your regular weekly company meetings, which I'm sure you're having. You're going to be doing it in your company monthly meetings and check-ins. You're going to be doing it in your all company addresses every quarterly. You're going to do it in your quarterly executive leadership meetings. Do you get the sense of where I'm going? You're never going to miss an opportunity to share the vision. Matter of fact, I even incorporated the vision in a good rehabilitation or repeat of it every time I did a review with any of my team members. Just as a reminder, it sort of sets the stage for where we're going. Side note, your vision and your values, which I believe is your culture, that actually is our basis for alignment inside of our company, right? So whenever we're having an adversarial relationship, we just boil it and take it right back to that vision and values. Because if we're not aligned there, we don't need to be aligned anywhere. Last but not least, when we multiply, our problems multiply as well. And so if you're asking that question of how do I keep or develop or insert an incredible culture while I'm scaling a business, well, I'm going to be really honest with you. You just have to be a student of practice, because as you scale your business, scaling will expose every single weakness inside both your operational model and your culture. But instead of getting angry about it and acting like putting in a culture is a event that you do at one time and you don't have to worry about it, just accept it. Appreciate those moments where your culture's tested or where scaling breaks your culture. Expect it to happen, and instead of getting angry, recognize that this is part of the beauty of the journey. Embrace it. Culture is actually one of those things that when we look back on our relationships with businesses and team members and things along those lines, the culture tends to be the part that we miss more than anything else. Or it's the reason we left in the first place. Consider that when you're making a decision about how you push culture during a time of great scaling and great growth. Thank you.